All right, Yellowstone family. Can you believe we're finally here? The finale of Yellowstone Season 5 is just around the corner, and let me tell you, Episode 14 is shaping up to be a wild ride. This isn't just about wrapping up loose ends. It's about delivering the most intense, emotional, and jaw-dropping moments we've seen yet. At least that's what I'm hoping to see. So, grab your popcorn, because we're diving into how will we close the Yellowstone chapter for good. First and foremost, let's talk about Jamie Dutton, because this is the last time we will see him. Ever. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if there's one character who's been digging his own grave since day one, it's Jamie. Over the years, we've watched him transform from a desperate-to-please lawyer into a power-hungry political player. And while he's had his moments, let's be honest, most of his choices have been disasters waiting to happen. I mean, this guy simply cannot have a good decision in life. It is like he is cursed or something. From betraying John to scheming against Beth, Jamie's been burning bridges faster than I can count. And honestly, feel free to fight me in the comments, but at this point, I'm glad he is leaving the franchise at last. Here's the kicker. Jamie thought he could outsmart Beth. Big mistake. In fact, huge mistake. This season, Beth's made it her mission to dismantle Jamie's life piece by piece, and she's not stopping until he's out of the picture for good. To be frank, it's hard to feel bad for the guy. Do you still feel sorry for Jamie? Do you still root for Jamie for God's sake? Can't wait to hear your thoughts about it. But to me, Jamie's betrayal of the family legacy, especially selling out to market equities, was the final nail in the coffin. He's backed into a corner now, with his career in shambles and his personal life in tatters. Do you think Jamie could have turned things around if he'd made different choices? Let me know in the comments. I mean, it is clear that Beth and Jamie's relationship has always been a powder keg. But what about Rip? Unlike Beth, Rip doesn't wear his hatred for Jamie on his sleeve. Instead, he's been the quiet storm, standing by Beth's side and letting her lead the charge against Jamie. Their shared disdain for him has created an unbreakable bond for sure, but it's also made Jamie's downfall feel inevitable. So, in the Yellowstone finale, we won't see Beth fighting against Jamie alone. Instead, we will see her alongside Rip as they prove once again that they are the ultimate power couple. We all know that Beth's hatred stems from one of the most heartbreaking betrayals in the show, Jamie's decision to have her sterilized without her consent. It is clear that that's not something you come back from. Rip, meanwhile, sees Jamie as a threat to the family he's sworn to protect, which is more than enough for him to get rid of Jamie. So, together, Beth and Rip have become an unstoppable force, ready to do whatever it takes to end Jamie's reign of destruction. Now, let's get to the juicy part, which is basically Jamie's final moments. Episode 14 promises to be nothing short of explosive, with Jamie's death likely serving as the ultimate climax. Rumor has it that Beth and Rip will capture Jamie during John Dutton's funeral, turning what should be a moment of mourning into a scene of pure vengeance. And yes, I personally cannot wait for it. They will make us realize that Beth isn't just out for revenge. She wants to erase Jamie's influence entirely. And Rip, he's ready to step into John's shoes, taking the reins and delivering just as Dutton style. So, a very harsh episode awaiting Jamie, as his final moments will be more than scary. The idea of Jamie being tortured before his death is chilling for sure, but I feel like it's also fitting given the path he's chosen. Do you think Jamie deserves redemption? Or is this the only way his story could end? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of John's funeral, brace yourselves. This is going to be one of the most emotional moments in Yellowstone history. If you are not in the crying mood, then you better skip the episode entirely, because it will be impossible to hold the tears back. We all know that John's death marks the end of an era, not just for the Dutton family, but for the ranch itself. In a move that is simply heartbreaking, the Yellowstone Ranch will be handed over to the reservation. This fulfills the prophecy laid out in 1883, bringing the land back to its original stewards after 7 generations. And yes, it will be very emotional for both sides, forcing us to sympathize with everyone. And here's where things get interesting. Tate, Casey's son, will inherit what's left of the Dutton legacy. As the bridge between the Duttons and the reservation, Tate symbolizes a new beginning. Watching Beth and Casey negotiate this transfer is sure to be a tearjerker, but it also leaves us with a glimmer of hope. What do you think Tate's role will be in the future of the Yellowstone universe? Share your thoughts below. As if all this drama wasn't enough, there's still Jamie's son to consider. One of the most intriguing twists in episode 14 is the fact that Beth and Rip will adopt Jamie's child. On the surface, it might seem like an act of mercy, but let's be real. This is about rewriting Jamie's legacy on their terms. By raising his son, Beth ensures that Jamie's name is erased from the family's future. For Rip, it's a chance to become the father figure he never had, bringing a sense of redemption to his own troubled past. Do you think Beth and Rip can give Jamie's son a better life? Or will the shadow of his father's actions always loom over him? I can't wait to hear your theories about it. At the end of the day, I feel like Jamie's downfall is entirely his own doing. I don't know if you guys would agree, but to me, time and again, he's chosen ambition over loyalty, betrayal over family. From siding with market equities to plotting against John and Beth, Jamie's decisions have alienated him from everyone who once cared about him. His death will be tragic for sure, but it's also the natural conclusion to a story defined by betrayal and self-destruction. I mean, how else could this story end? For more weekly updates on the Yellowstone franchise, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might interest you.